Namaste, my beautiful beings of light. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Jeanette and I am a high vibrational being. I'm back with some messages. I may take out cards, I may not, but I've been getting a lot of messages, through the universe when I walk outside, through the clouds, the animals. It's just I'm spiritually guided always. So please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Welcome back. I hope you guys had a blessed evening and have a better night tonight when you go to sleep. Don't forget to pray. Okay, always be thankful. Once again, I want to say thank you to my Father, to my angels, my archangels, my ascended masters, my galactic family, my deities, my ancient ancestors, my galactic family, my spirit animals. Oh my God, the ascended masters. I have such a beautiful team of spirits that are always with me. They're always guiding me. I'm always protected, highly protected, and I'm so thankful. Always got to be thankful for the things that I am experiencing, I'm learning, and this is part of my mission, and I know my purpose. So I know that I had to go through this for a reason. I signed up with Spirit before I came to this planet to complete my mission, and I'm fully awake and I know exactly what needs to be done. So there's no weapon. Well, weapons are formed against me, but they will never prosper ever. So it is what it is. And these weapons are basically more of a state of mind, things that I needed to heal, shadows, aspects, karmic relationships that I had past relationships in the past, and in this lifetime and other lifetimes that needed to be healed, that needed to I needed to separate, especially with the mind. The mind is very important to always be present, not go into a state of confusion, a state of worry, a state of fear, because this is what is put out to the collective. This is put out through the media, is put out through the leaders that were supposed to be protective of humanity, but they chose to hurt, abuse, enslave, drug, kill, sacrifice, and to steal our inheritance, steal our birthright. But I'm very thankful because through my awakening, I am learning, I am healing, I am going through this transformation. Every single day is something new. Every single moment of my life is something that I have to experience. And it's very, very important for us to stay in the here and now and always speak our truth. Always, whatever is going on in your life, in your job, with your family, do not stay quiet. You're being hurt, you're being abused, you're being overworked. There's a way of talking to people rather than retaliate and argue and fight and be aggressive. And we have to get out that mindset, because nothing is resolved through those low vibrational energies. I call them, those are the stages of darkness. the stages of darkness. Once you start awakening, you learn to understand, you learn to be compassionate, you learn to open up your heart more and expand your mind to fully grow, because it's not 10% of our brain that we are able to use. There's more. This is what has been put out into education, which is really false. The educational system really needs to be changed as well, because they do not teach the proper history, the proper stories that were called myths. And they're not myths, they're really experiences that has happened on our planet, among our people, among our ancestors, that has been hidden. And there are sacred places, there are sacred books, there are history books that tells the story over and over. The book of Genesis is told over and over. But anyway, I want to say welcome back to my channel, and I thank you all for those who are awakening, who are really finding yourself to be more centered, more grounded, more at peace, more sitting down with yourself, letting go of relationships, friends, co-workers, lovers, that are not of your highest good. We need high vibrational beings that is able to lift your spirit up, not bring you down. These are your oppositions. These are your shadow aspects of yourself. So continue to do the work. Know that you could always call upon your angels, your guides, spirit guides, your passed on loved ones. They're not dead. They're always with you. They're in spirit. They're just not in the vessel that you are used to seeing them. And your archangels, your ascended masters, God, whatever you call him, just know that he will never let you in the wrong direction. I speak from experience, because once I awakened, once I had this big Kundalini awakening, because I call it a Kundalini awakening, because the Holy Spirit, I saw the light, I saw the Spirit come into me, and I went down on my knees and I said, I will never lie again. I will always, always, always be with my Father. I will never go back to the old way of living, to the old mindset. I started to reprogram my mind. I started to do a lot of positive affirmations, sleeping with positive affirmations, running through, until I woke up, learning, being guided. I mean, when I first awakened, it was very fearful, because I didn't know what the hell happened. I just saw the world different. I started seeing people for who they truly are. I was trying to look for help, but the help was never outside of me. The help was always inside of me. I had to always connect to my God, to my spirit, to my angels, to my ascended masters for the guidance. Archangel Michael works very closely with me. There were many spiritual leaders that have helped me along the way. One day I would just make a video to all those who played a major role in my awakening, because without them, without spirit guiding me to their channels, I mean, I would have eventually, God would eventually had led me to these people. So I owe a lot to the spiritual workers that I worked with during my spiritual awakening, that I paid to receive the services, you know, and the services was very unbelievable. I learned so much, and I'm very thankful for these soul tribes, these high vibrational beings that were very essential in my awakening. So I'll make a video with their names and their channels, and I am very thankful. I don't speak a lot about them because of the gang stalking and all this that has been going on. Anyway, I just wanted to put that out there. I was watching, oh no, at 8 p.m. I was smelling an odor. I was smelling something very like somebody's body is dirty, very unclean. I'm like, it was like smelling dog poop. I'm sorry. It's like smelling dog poop. I was like even checking under my shoes and to make sure I didn't have, you know, somebody's butt really stinks. I don't know why. I'm guided to say that. Then also there was a woman that I seen. She had a t-shirt on, and the t-shirt said dead guy. Then in the back it had the Grim Reaper on the back of her t-shirt. There's deaths that's going to be happening. People are going to start losing. People in just deaths are going to be happening, and this has to happen because there was a lot of negative energy that has been thrown apart and done to the collective. And I have been seeing scooters that says the UFOs. So we wasn't seeing UFOs logos. We wasn't seeing alien logos before like we're seeing them now. We're seeing them more than ever. And this is a sign that our world is shifting. Maybe they use it for monetary, for businesses, but the actual truth is that there are UFO sightings. There are the galactic, and these galactic beings are not here to hurt and harm any human being. Just know that, okay? They're here, they're protective of our planet. If you go down into history, if you really read the story, if you really go into the books, you will know these are God's messengers. These are God's creations. We all came from a very divine creator. And the people in power don't want you to know who you are. But that's coming to an end. And there was 2 Law and Orders that I watched yesterday. One of them consisted of a lifeguard, a person who served the community who was also a political, how you say it, he would charity, he would invest money, give money to political power, men of power. This man who was this lifeguard, worked in the community, but his job was to prey on boys and prey on girls, sexually assault them, rape them, and eliminate them. So a lot of this has been happening in our communities, in our family lives, and stories were told differently because the power at B were the ones who took place, partook in a lot of people's children. It's sad that we take our children to school and our teachers are the molesters. They're the monsters. Some of them, not all of them. I remember in kindergarten, when I went to school, I had a gym teacher who was a molester. I had no idea. I had no idea. Sometimes when we watch these shows, I'm healed, because I'm totally healed. I don't hold on. I forgive. It's over. It's been a very long time, but we do remember. We start remembering. But we have to be very mindful, because during this time, at this moment, is very crucial. A lot of kids are being found. A lot of kids are being found sex trafficked. They have been taken from their families, saying that there were missing children in these carton boxes, The power at B had a lot to do with it. And all this will be brought to the public, is being exposed. I don't know how much you guys watch the news or see what is going on, but there's something very big happening. God is exposing all these groups, men of power, that were placed to help, but took it upon themselves to prey on the vulnerable. So this man was just taking advantage of his job and of the youth. Then I watched another one, and this one was about a woman, realtor, power, billionaire, investments in all areas of, just with the police, the, lawyers, judges, throwing parties, sex parties, having these orgies. So I'm gonna just run down what I got from the movie. Getting paid with crypto money. These people get paid with crypto money. This is how they try to hide their involvement in multiple crimes against humanity. These people work from secret societies. These people are from cults. These people are witches, warlocks. They prey on the vulnerable people. At these parties, they would have drugs, lots of alcohol, rapes, sex tapes, sex, rape, drugs. And these women would, there was a woman who was, she thought she was there for work. So she went to her boss. The boss was married, but he took her as a backup for his wife. I don't know if his wife knew that he had sex with other women, but he would go to these parties and indulge with men and women. And in these parties, there was several, in every room there was a camera. It's like my life. Like everywhere I moved to, there was cameras. There was cameras in the home where I was living prior to coming here. I saw the laptops downstairs in the basement. There were 3 beds downstairs. These people would take turns to watch and stalk people without our knowledge. And it's just so funny because when I started to remember that the realtor that wanted to take us out of the apartment, they were Italians, came with these cops all the time, same cops over and over, same cops. And then when I had wanted to call the news to report the cameras, they made it seem like I was crazy. At that time, I was going, I was sick. I had surgery. I had pulmonary disease, and it was just, I was going through a lot. And this was because they were doing the voodoo through the cameras. I had no idea. They were doing MK Ultra. So in the movie, in this scene, there was the woman would throw all these fake charity events, and these parties would take place like downtown in the village. So the village could be significant. Things could be happening downtown secretly that people are not aware of. There was a man who wore a crow mask. It's so funny because I saw 3 crows the other day, and once again I see a crow mask. So a crow mask can be significant, or somebody just wear a mask. This is part of their ritual, part of their sex act, part of their sex game, this is the leader that doesn't want to be exposed. So this person didn't want to be exposed for what he did. I thought, but this is the message that I was getting. But he also would take his victims, he would drug them, take them to the room, have sex with them, but as they are unconscious, he would choke them. Like, I remember being choked. And they choke you to the point where you almost lose consciousness. But this man would get off on this. This is how he got off, because he said when he was a younger boy, he would hurt animals. He would do this to animals. But I saw it as a form of control and power over a woman and children or whatever. And they found in this scene, the cops found recording. Oh no, this man, when they found who this man was, the crow, the man with the mask, he was a temptress. A temptress is a person who makes a whole lot of noise. In this job, you're a part of an orchestra playing a timbani. a kind of kettle drum which has skin stretched over a large bowl. And the detective asked the man, why does he get off choking his victims to the point where they're already unconscious? And he was like, it was a release. He felt a relief from strangling a woman. It's like he said the vibration. The vibration. He called it quasi-retentant. It's as if holding back, implying that music should feel slightly slower here, although the tempo should remain the same. I don't know. This is how he got off. And they found 40 to 50 hard drives of files of these parties that they had, an assault videotape of all the sex acts that occur in these parties. And there was a main female who was part of this, and she was a hurt woman. She was a hurt woman who got off hurting women by these men hurting these women by filming them. I don't know. It was just like a sickness. And I feel that there's women out here that get off having these men because there is a karmic here that likes to see other women hurt. They like to feed off their energy. They like to see them in fear. They like to see them, they like to see men hurt them because they were hurt in their childhood. And this woman was arrested, and she went to court. And when she went to court, she was let go on her own consciousness, but she had to wear those arrest ankle bracelets. And as soon as she was involved with the judge, she was involved with the lawyer, she involved with men. So she was a woman who had wealth, and this is how she gained her money, and she left to Dubai. There's a power of being. People that think that they have all this money think that they could just get off and hurt children and hurt men and hurt women because they have been hurt. But God said, no, you cannot be in power. You cannot build your foundations on harming and hurting His children, innocent people, drugging their drinks. And it's so funny because I had started to remember on one occasion. This is when I wasn't healed. I used to go out dancing on my own because I never had friends, so I never like to go out. I always like to go out by myself and enjoy myself and know when I need to go home, I need to go home. And there's one night I went out. This was many years ago. I went out and I met two guys, and I had my own place, and we met. We was having fun at the club and stuff like that. So it was time to go home. So they wanted to escort me to my house. So I went to my house, but we wanted to continue to party. So they brought beer, and I didn't remember anything after that. I just remember going home and waking up with no clothes. I never told anybody this story, but this 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 episode reminds me that we need to be very careful of who, when you go out, oh my God, when you go out and you think that somebody's sending you a drink with good faith, there could be a Mickey in that drink. And then you're going to wake up and not remember what happened. I never remembered what happened. Never, ever. So, you know, I'm very thankful and grateful for being alive. Spirit is always with me. Everything in life is a learned lesson. I'm not ashamed. I am not ashamed. Things happen, okay? I always speak to my Father, and these are lessons that we have to learn from and never repeat again. I used to always have 2 drinks minimum after that, and just wine, not hard liquor, when I used to go out. It was not all the time, but I really like to have fun. But to get intoxicated to a point where I don't remember, from that day I didn't repeat the same cycle. But there are people out here that do this. So I just wanted to bring these situations up because this is really happening. We have to be very careful with our children, the programs we put our children, the daycare we put our children, the doctors, the nurses, because there's nurses, there's lawyers, there's judges, oh man, there are a lot of unhealed people who have these jobs, and some of them are not even qualified for it. They just brought their way in, just like Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein was a mind manipulator. He was a master at getting riches, and these people would pay him for these parties to have sex with children on islands. Okay, so this is something that is happening, has happened, and God is putting the light on it at this moment. And many empower, many musicians, because there's a lot of musicians involved in here as well. It's a lot. People of high society who built false foundations, who made riches off of the sacrifice of God's children. Their foundations is crumbling down. One by one, God is dismantling the faces, the mask off these people, and showing the world who they truly are. So, hopefully that we start to connect with God, so that way we're not guided in the wrong direction. Once you stay close with God and your angels and your son and your galactic family, I mean, you believe whatever you want to believe. Okay, I'm not here to force anybody. I'm just here. I am being very vulnerable. I am giving you my experiences, and I'm not sugarcoating because I'm not ashamed of it. I'm not. God forgives everybody. God is a forgiving God. God is a loving God. And we wasn't made perfect. We had to come here to learn these lessons, and many failed to return back to the Father. And many chose to do things that was not of the highest, even with the many warnings that they were given. They chose to honor another God. But I'm just going to close it here. I'm just going to say thank you for letting me share. Thank you for subscribing to my channels, for those who subscribe. Thank you, Father, for always protecting me, always guiding me, always delivering the messages that I need to deliver to the collective. And say whatever you want to say, because I hear it already. But you know what? I'm very thankful. And we learn. We learn. And once we learn, we don't repeat. Hope everybody has a good night. I am going to close and just, for those who are harming and hurting our children, our animals, our planet, taking advantage of your positions, God is in control. God always was in control. He just lets you fall in your own traps. Namaste.